Hello and welcome to NerdVsWorld, episode 54, Con Nerd. I'm Brendan.
I'm Spindles.
I'm Emma.
And I'm Megan.
Yeah, you got a full house today.
Yay!
Lots to catch up on. So we've got MCM recap news. We're treated to a playtest of Super Dungeon Explorer a couple of weekends back, so we'll be talking about that. This is the first time we've got together since the Star Wars trailer was released, so we'll fanboy about that a little bit. And then the burning question on everyone's lips, is Glenn dead? It's a Walking Dead spoiler, actually, if you haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, spoiler alert! Glenn might be dead.
But we'll see. To be fair, it was a week old. You should have watched it by now.
Yeah, this is true. Well, by Friday, I'm pretty
yeah.
sure that everybody will have watched it.
Okay, so why don't you three tell me all about the fun you had at MCM whilst I was at home watching the photos and the con panels go up, seething slightly in unbridled jealousy.
I couldn't believe it when they announced that on Sunday that panel was coming up, and I was like, Brendan will kill me for this.
Start at the start.
So yeah, okay. Well, we'll start because I went down Friday as I normally do. And Friday was interesting. There were a couple of kind of premiere screenings of things. It was the second episode of Man in the High Castle.
Yeah,
they screened there, but I didn't watch it because I haven't seen episode 1.
Oh, the pilot's very good.
Yeah,
that was part of Amazon's pilot season last year, so I'm really happy it got picked up for a full season because it was awesome. And again, it's another Philip K. Dick adaptation,
So yeah, that was premiered there, and by all accounts seemed to go down quite well. Yeah. I spent the majority of Friday just wandering around, looking at the kind of new games and stuff that were kicking around, and saying hello to the various people as I was wandering around. So yeah, it was cool. There were no interviews or anything scheduled for Friday, so it was mainly just bimbling around the con, seeing what there was to offer, and just being interested in the shift of kind of tone. There was more Star Warsy stuff this time, obviously. But notable by its absence was there was no Star Wars Battlefront stall, which was a bit weird.
And also, game was missing.
There was no game stall, which is very odd. Normally there's a massive game booth because it's the run up to Christmas and they want to pre-order everything.
Yeah.
So there was computer exchange, but there was no game.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be at Birmingham in a couple of weeks.
Possibly, yeah.
But there was no big game floor show like there has been for, say, was it Arkham Knight?
Well, yeah, I mean, there was a reasonable sized booth for Assassin's Creed Syndicate, but
that's
was
over
pretty much
18.
Yeah.
It could be because EGX was like a couple of weekends back.
True, yeah.
You know.
And that's a whole weekend of just a gaming convention.
And Battlefront are dealing with all the fallout from the open beta they just did, so it's still glitchy as fuck.
Yeah.
So probably didn't want to put too much out there.
Possibly. Well, I mean, the demo footage that they've had at the other cons has been quite good, so who knows?
Who knows?
But I'm still buying it anyway.
And there was Assassin's Creed people dressed up.
Yes, yeah, I think it was the same people who were at EGX, was the same people dressed up in Assassin's Creed costumes.
Cool.
Because that's hit the release now, that is out.
Yeah.
So everybody else, go play Assassin's Creed Syndicate, it's awesome.
It's got really good reviews.
Steampunk London.
That's kind of your best dream, isn't it?
God, yeah. Yeah, I mean, not like I haven't been going on about it all year or anything.
We only turned up very late because Megan went to school and we...
Pesky school.
Pesky school.
I actually had to learn. I'm sorry.
Getting in the way of conventions and being a geek.
Damn you, school.
So we came down a bit later, so we only caught the end of the day on Friday.
And then we just walked around really, didn't we?
Well, yeah, Saturday was the usual busy day. That's the day when we had all of the press panels and stuff lined up. So once again, we got to see the lovely Saul Rubinek, who there are about 3 people at these things that I could just sit and listen to all day. Saul Rubinek is one of them. John Noble, I could sit and listen to him all day. And my new favourite, Edward James Olmos, who I could just listen to for my entire life. I could just sit in a room and go, tell me things.
Speak.
Yes, speak. Tell us your tales, O wise one.
Tell me your story.
This, of course, being the first ground for bitter, seething jealousy on my part.
Yeah.
How was the Edward James Olmos panel, dude?
Well, it was awesome. We did. We actually went to the main panel in the morning, and I recorded the whole of that. So that's going to be going out on YouTube.
Awesome.
Because the one on Sunday went out, but we'll get to that in a bit. So yeah, it was brilliant, and he basically, one of the most interesting themes of what he said is, he said, what you need to do is watch Battlestar Galactica all the way through, and then at the point, where at the end it's like, this has happened before and will happen again and stuff, when that finishes, then you put Blade Runner on. Because that's the continuation. The replicants are the Cylons, and it's like a continuation of the story.
No.
Yeah, this is from Edward James Olmos. He said, yeah, that's it.
He's
Do
the
it like
biggest Uber fan of both of them.
He is.
Really?
It's obvious that he's such a fan of
He
both
says
of those.
every time anyone comes round to his house, he says, "Have you seen Battlestar Galactica?" No, I'll put it on.
That's really nice to hear, because you kind of worry that, like, sometimes these actors get sick to death of the franchises they're famous for.
Yeah, well, I think
nice to hear that
a
he
lot
likes
of the
it.
storylines and stuff in BSG really resonated for him, and he did it based on the treatment that he was given, and the first couple of pages of the treatment were about how to read the script and kind of saying, this is where we're coming from with it, so read it like this. And he really loved the idea, and apparently had a clause in his contract that said, the moment that you have a kind of wibbly
Monster
alien gribble
swamp.
turn up, then Adama will be having a heart attack and you will have to write him out of the show.
No monster of the week, please.
Fair play.
So yeah, he's engaging, he's charismatic, he's got great stories, and yeah, I could just listen to him talk for hours.
Did he talk much about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
He talked a little bit about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., not a huge amount, but again, it's all on the video, and
Cool.
it can go out and you can have a look
He
at
said
that.
the main reason he did that was because he was the proper Shield.
Yeah, he was given the option to be the real
The
Shield.
real S.H.I.E.L.D. I was so gutted that they killed him off.
Yes.
I
So
think a
good.
lot of what he does is down to the integrity of the characters rather than what it is he's been offered of money.
Yeah.
It's all, and the only reason why he did the Battlestar was because it was central to the things that he's interested in, and especially with them going to the UN.
Yeah, did you know about this?
No.
Apparently, during the run of BSG, him, the Lady Mary, who plays the president, Laura Roslin, and the two showrunners got invited to the UN and did a 3-hour press conference for the whole of the UN, talking about the relevance of what happens in Battlestar Galactica in modern society.
That's very cool.
So
Apparently it's on YouTube. It's a 3-hour video apparently on
well,
YouTube.
I got no worries watching a 3-hour video.
So
Yeah,
they did about 8 minutes from the show, and then 8 minutes of the UN saying, well, why that was applicable in the real world situation. And then they did a question and answer sessions. So it was pretty all much about, reconciliation and what to do with terrorism and, and apparently he's got a really great rant about, because he was saying about the different races, and he said, look, there's only one race.
Yeah.
We are only one race. We are different cultures, but we are one race. And it's not like with the Cylons being a race and the humans being a race, we only have to reconcile one.
So it was a very, very inspiring talk of what he gave over the weekend and alluded to from this UN speech. So I think, I will be going to watch it as soon as I get a chance to, and I would urge anyone, on the basis of how he put that across, I would urge anyone to go and read it, because he's it's very inspiring the way he talks about it.
It's referenced in both the panel and also in the interviews afterwards.
Cool.
Which, both great takes on it.
Yeah, so they'll all be going out. We've got the YouTube video, and then the interview panel will be going out as a podcast.
The other person who's very inspiring was R.J. Mitty.
R.J. Mitty, yes.
He was talking about the work that he does to bring people, who have alleged disabilities into working in film and television, to show that, it's an ability, it's something that they can do, it's something that will enrich the workforce.
Yeah, and he's talking about how to change the perception of people with disabilities, so you don't see the disability first and then the person through the disability, you just see the person.
Yeah.
And how that works in Breaking Bad as well.
Yeah.
Junior comes forward as a person, whereas initially you may just see the disability.
So yeah, I think was that all of our panels? Oh God, no! There was the Game of Thrones panel on Saturday as well.
How many Jon Snow alive questions were there?
No, there were none really.
That's a surprise.
It was interesting because 2/3 of the panel are all dead.
Quite recently dead as well.
Well, I was going to say, had Stannis turned up, it would have been 3/4 of the panel that were dead.
Oh, did Stannis not turn up?
I think he was late or something, so he couldn't make the press one. He was there for the full panel the next day. But no, it was Lancel Lannister, Sir Berenstain, and Meryn Trant.
Who was saying about his death and how it just utterly devastated him that he was such a nasty person, and that filming really took it out of him, and they really had to just go for it at the end because it's very emotional what he says.
And again, we recorded the whole of that one, so that one will also be going out on YouTube. We've done a lot of recording of panels this time, so yeah, we've come back with quite a lot from this one.
That's cool.
So yeah, that was the Saturday. Yeah, it was interesting. I think one of the questions I posed to Lancel Lannister, I don't think he quite got what I was asking, but the guy who played Meryn Trant answered it more along the lines of what I was thinking, which is as Lancel Lannister is primarily responsible for the downfall of Cersei last season, now that Cersei's back, I think you might be in for a bit of retribution next season. What do you think? And he was a bit like, oh, I don't know. And then he was talking about the kind of the socio-political stuff. And the guy playing Meryn Trant was like, no, she doesn't forgive people. You're going to be in for a world of hurts.
Yeah.
But they were also fans.
Oh God, yeah, the way they talk about the show.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was very cool.
Unfortunately, during all of this, we abandoned Megan.
Oh no, I abandoned you.
We didn't abandon. She abandoned us.
Fair play, Meg. What did you get up to?
I went steampunk area, woo, and didn't leave.
I didn't leave.
Yes, that is what I did. I was just.
And you
sat.
had a bit of a wander as well.
Yeah, I did. I was just kind of sat helping people and having fun and watching panels at the steampunk area.
Sweet.
So yeah, that was most of Saturday, and then of course Sunday happened.
Yeah, Sunday happened.
We watched a bit of the librarians.
Well, yeah,
panel.
we caught the end of the librarians panel.
At which
with
point
Noah
they
Weil.
announced something.
Yeah, at that point they announced that at I think it was 2:00 there was going to be a con man panel that Alan Tudyk was in the building and would be coming on with Nolan North to do a panel about con man.
And you said you weren't going to leave.
And at that point I said I am not moving anywhere because I was on the front row. I am not going anywhere.
You have to go on a mission of mercy and go and get my
Go and
camera.
Get the camera.
And come back with the camera.
And then I had food.
And, I brought you a camera and a coffee.
And a coffee, yes, because before that came on, it was RJ Mitty and Saul Rubinek came out. Poor Saul Rubinek, just as he was about to finish, they did a massive announcement over the tannoy saying, in 5 minutes' time on the main stage there will be a panel from Conman. And so he was in the middle of an answer of a question, and he kind of sat there for a second after the tannoy announcement had finished and went, so that'll be me fucking off then, will it?
Bless.
Very, very funny.
He's such a great guy. I love him to bits because at the interview panel that we did, essentially I asked a question at the start and that was it. He answered that question. That was the whole panel.
But you've interviewed him before,
I have
haven't you?
interviewed him before, yeah. And he recognised me, which was really nice.
That's cool.
That was quite cool. Yeah, so,
I'll get over it. I'll get over the fact that I missed being in the same place as Alan Tudyk.
We were very close.
Don't rub it in, Emma, right?
This isn't what he wants to hear.
Yeah, I don't know how close you
to
were.
know that we were in the back row, we couldn't
Yeah.
see
I want to
him.
know that your vision was obscured, that you couldn't really hear him.
Have you seen the video?
Yeah.
And
It's pretty cool.
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It was a good part. I had to cut out the video because I wasn't sure about the copyright rules of it. So
Yeah.
that's why it cuts out the bit of Conman. Have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen Conman
Right,
yet.
okay, because the clip of it was brilliant.
It's very funny.
And
It's
it was
funny.
them recording
Voice
lines of
acting.
dialogue for a video game, and it was Milo Ventimiglia, Nolan North, and Alan Tudyk, and
with
it was
Gina
hilarious.
Torres being the director.
Yes, Alan Tudyk with the "I'm bleeding from my ass."
It's out on Vimeo now, isn't it? So you can go and buy. You can go and buy it.
They only mentioned that a couple of times that it's out on Vimeo.
Daddy, run away and hide. After everybody else going, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. And then he's just run away.
It was very good. Noel North is really funny. I had no idea he was going to be quite that sharp and on the ball, but the two of them on the stage were phenomenal.
I can only imagine how good it was to be there. I mean, I've watched Alan Tudyk's panels at Nerd HQ every year from San Diego for like the last 3 years.
Yeah.
The guy is fucking hilarious.
He's all signing slippers and giving them away, and his boarding pass.
And giving the shower cap to the bald guy and
Genius. Oh well,
I think I might have zoomed in a little bit too far, and I don't think you can see the gags about the guys who were stood just to the right doing the signing for the deaf. So there's at some point they turn around and they're going, "Poop, I pooped," and that's because they were getting the signing guy to do it all.
Yeah, he
and
was.
then when they showed the video, they swapped, and that's why Alan Tudyk at one point goes, "Who are you?" Because it's a different guy.
why?
We hadn't noticed, so yeah, it's.
Well, we all really did. It was just whenever we weren't really paying attention to the signing anymore, it was another person came on and went, "Who are you? Why are you here?"
And
What
the
about
bit
the
of
other guy?
context at the very end of the last guy who asked that question was dressed as Jesus, which was brilliant.
Really funny.
The guy
I
with the
want to say only at a Comic Con, but you
spoons
know.
for hands or a cat's face.
Said you are not the.
So that was epic, and that was how we ended out the con, because we
Well, you can't top that.
no, well, we were going to go to the Game of Thrones panel, but literally that
We're a bit
con man
late.
one ran straight up to the wire at 3:00.
And we went to
We forgot wireless.
We went to a wireless panel in the morning, yes, which is Andrew Lee Potts. He's got a web show called Wireless on YouTube that he's
It looks
doing.
really good.
It does look really good, yeah. It's about a guy who's a cop, and he's partnered with an AI in his car.
Oh God, really?
Yeah, it actually sounds quite interesting.
Sounds like Almost Human.
Yeah, kind of, but it's all done in a kind of guerrilla filmmaking style. So
Okay.
he films it all on GoPros in the car and stuff. So
Interesting.
it sounds really cool. Having watched the panel, then it sounds really interesting the way they've done it, and he does it all himself. He's written it, he
It's a bit
edits
more
it.
person of interest than it is.
Yeah, I think so.
But
Yeah,
that in a car.
because there's a storyline behind the AI and stuff.
And-
So
Yeah, there's like no sets. It's just in a car.
Yes.
Going around. It was quite funny when they were saying how awkward it was.
mm,
Just getting out in a car and there was bodyguard there and just like,
a security guard giving him funny looks.
and he's
as-
just
yeah.
stood there waiting for the car to come round again.
So it's all filmed on no budget, and he just does it all himself. So I went and said hello to him at the booth afterwards, and I've got to drop him an email to see whether he wants to come on a show at some point.
Excellent.
So
Cool.
I went and introduced myself and went, panel looked cool, interested to talk about it, because he's very much interested in kind of how media is progressing and different ways of engaging audiences and stuff.
Oh, cool. I'm lecturing on that soon.
Yeah, exactly. So I posited that he should come on the show.
You should definitely come on the show.
So yes.
I managed to get an interview lined up for the show at some point as well. I went to Marcus's birthday,
Yes.
so it was like a Serenity themed birthday, which is just perfect. Just watched Firefly and ate Chinese. But obviously Dave Mound was there,
Yes.
who we know from before, and he is off to the Houses of Parliament to help consult on UK cybersecurity policy.
I've had many conversations with him
Yeah.
about it, because I've done a lot of the same cybersecurity challenges.
So yeah, he's going to come on the show at some point, hopefully before the end of the year.
And we can really nerd out.
Yeah, we're going to basically look at the portrayal of hacking in pop culture. So hackers, Mr. Robot, and then everything will have someone who's like all blind spot hacking
Yes.
next episode, and actually talk about how much of that is doable.
Do you
What's
know,
possible?
you won't have actually seen it, but the film that I made, I wrote a massive long section about, it was a rant about how hacking is portrayed in Hollywood, and about having all the really cool flashy user interfaces that you click buttons and it auto hacks and stuff like that, and then about 5 pages later do precisely that in the script.
I have seen the episode of Mr. Robot now where they're watching hackers in the show.
Right.
On
That was the other premiere that was on Friday at MCM was Mr. Robot.
what, series 2?
Well, it was an episode that hadn't been aired,
okay.
so
Wicked.
that was MCM.
Yeah, I lived vicariously through your photos and updates that weekend.
It was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure how this weekend was going to go because on Friday was a bit slow, and I was a bit like, okay, well, we'll see how the rest of the weekend goes. But Saturday just blew stuff out the water, and then Sunday was the icing on. Yeah, could not have gotten any better.
Yeah, that's legit. Sweet. Of course, the weekend before that, we were all here playing a wonderful
Super
little board.
Dungeon Explore.
Super Dungeon Explore. Yeah. Meg.
Where I killed everything.
Yes.
Yay!
where Meg was a princess with a gun.
While the brave werewolf bravely ran away.
Yeah.
A lot, Brendan.
Yeah. Well, just the once. Just when it mattered the most.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to try and take out the really big bad guy. Oh, I haven't killed him. Right, I'll run away.
And then
run away, turn
then
tail,
transform
flee.
back into a thing and run
To
away
start
somewhere.
with, we all chose characters.
Well,
Oh, no.
No,
Let's
no.
not follow conventional systems of reviewing a board game. Let's just geek the fuck out.
Well, I was a steampunk princess.
Steampunk sniper.
Yeah, you had a
Sniper.
sniper rifle.
Yes, I had a sniper. It was epic. I was one of the. There was 5 princesses and there was only 2 in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
two released so far.
Yeah, and there was. It's a whole story and it was really great.
I was a
background.
Fey sorcerer.
Potion
alchemist.
Potion
Yeah, you're
mistress.
the
Fey
alchemist.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
A werewolf.
a werewolf. I was
The brave.
Von Wilding and Von Wilder.
Depending on how big you were.
Yeah.
And I was the dwarf with the giant hammer of doom.
Yes. Which came in.
Giant stumpy hammer.
Daddy, it came in so much handy at the end.
It did, yes.
And the whole game basically plays out like Descent or Warhammer Quest, where you have a player group and a GM controlling the monsters, but it doesn't take itself too seriously.
No.
I think it is a much more accessible game for younger players. I think, Meg, you really enjoyed your
I
experience,
loved
didn't you?
it.
Because
I wanted.
correct me if I'm wrong, but was that your first time playing with a model-based game?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really fun. I liked the models and how there was all the different demons and you went, no, please don't transform. Please stay your cute little self. Please don't turn into a big bitey monster of doom.
Yeah, see, I kind of found it to be very similar to like classic D&D, but you replace a character sheet with the cards and kind of build that up as you went along. I really liked that idea.
Yeah. I think what Drew was saying as well is that with the new set, version 2, they're going to be adventures that run in between board game sessions, so you can actually level your character up more. Yeah.
Yeah, so rather than, taking all the cards apart and then starting again your next game, you keep it as a campaign, so you have the same character that just gets bigger and bigger.
Well, that'd be good because then I just stay my amazingness.
Well,
And
I think if anything, that's one of the drawbacks of the game is the randomness of the cards and when they're dealt out, and because you once you kill a creature, it drops loot like a computer game. And you were really lucky, mate, because everything that dropped was super useful for you,
I was just like,
but fuck all
the
use for anybody
dice.
else.
The dice! Roll 9. 9.
She was a little bit powerful.
And
Yeah,
then
you were
I-
absolutely
and then
power
I had
crazed.
the Colonel as well, so I was like, hello, chicken.
Oh yeah, the chicken.
Chicken with an eye patch.
I did like the way it played a bit like a computer game, where the monsters got bigger and bigger, and then at the end bits, and all of a sudden you couldn't, use your magical abilities quite so much.
You had
Yeah.
one-up tokens for when you died.
Yeah, yeah.
Use one-up tokens to bring people back to life again, and health bars flashing when you're taking too much damage, and
Yeah.
And then healers. That's kind of...
It replaced Lego Dimensions in What She Wants for Christmas.
Yeah,
Really?
It went, it
No.
went,
Result.
Lego Dimensions, really want Lego Dimensions. Actually.
You want Super Dungeon Explorer?
I really
So
Well-
actually now wants Super Dungeon Explorer.
Well, the version
really
2
fun.
Kickstarter has already hit its target. It hit it in 15 minutes, something stupid like that. So yeah, going
Well,
back
it's
it.
It's a really good game.
Well, I've played it before, and I enjoyed it. I think if you have a player group that knows the game and a dark console who can run it, then it can run quite quickly. I think because three of you, and me to some, were getting an introduction to the game, it did run a little longer than the 90 minutes average game time. 'Cause it took us...
It was like
about
5
hours. Yeah,
4 or 5 hours.
But it was more fun that way because we were all kind of just like finding our spots and our weaknesses and everything.
Yeah.
It took us a while to get into it though, because we learnt about the characters and about why it was like it was. So we didn't start for a while.
Yeah.
And then we of course had our pizza break.
Oh yeah, well, that's
you got to have
pizza,
time
right?
out
Yeah.
for pizza.
Hell yeah.
that's important.
Mummy, the reason it took so long is because of your character.
Oh yeah, you were playing a special snowflake, weren't you? You were playing the alchemist,
Well, it was
which
just
had like
we have
loads
to-
of special rules.
You have to explain all of your potions, and they were all going. Okay, so the potions will
One
wait
of my
for that
abilities
later.
I didn't actually find out about and never did, because said, we'll deal with that later, and the movie just never did.
Fair
There you
enough.
go. Well, maybe that could have saved you from dying twice.
No, probably not.
I don't
Well,
know.
at least the reason why I died twice is because I was in the action
Me too.
and
It's-
went
I
to
was-
go and kill
Yeah,
all
me too.
things
Yeah.
instead of running away
Yeah.
like
I
a
w-
scaredy dog.
I never ran away.
That's
you-
pointed at me, I think.
You
Meg.
ran away. You ran away. But I
Well,
hid
if
behind
I'd stayed where I
bushes.
was, I would. Yeah, you hid behind bushes for like the entirety of the game.
That's because I'm a sniper.
If I'd stayed where I was, I'd have blocked your line of sight.
oh, really? That's
I
the
blame
excuse,
you.
is it?
Definitely not, but I'm going with it.
Blame you. Finger of judgment. Finger of judgment.
Well, we took a bunch of pictures, and I'll put them out accompanying this in the show notes. And
Yeah.
you can see the brave werewolf running away, leaving the fast decaying corpses of his teammates behind.
Yeah.
We came back and got you. Well, I'm assuming we did.
And you didn't even run in the right direction for the chest. You
know,
went, let's go backwards instead of getting the new armour. Run away.
He ran away and let the little princess deal with it.
Yeah, because the little princess was fucking nails.
That is true. She was the hardest one on the pitch.
And I was just like, oh, when is it my go? When is it my go? And you guys went, well, I don't know yet. And Brendan was like, just let
do
her
it.
do it. Just do it.
Yeah, because the turn sequence is kind of unique to this sort of game, I think.
I liked it.
Every player gets to act, and then after each player has acted, the Dark Console acts. And when all 4 players have acted, or however many there are in the group, their actions reset, but they don't have to follow the same sequence they did before.
Yeah, you can
So-
choose who goes when. So it's kind of a
Useful.
softer version of initiative, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just you decide on the party order rather than rolling a dice.
In cooperation, which skill is needed at that time.
Yeah, yeah.
But then,
Yeah.
of course, as the turns go on, you lose the ability to go back to that original player, and then it has to be the last
Which kind of
person.
is like the console-based RPGs, like your Final Fantasies or so forth, where you choose which characters you put
Yeah.
forward and use their abilities when you want them to. So it makes sense.
And it got to a point, though, where Meg got overpowered,
Mm.
where it was just a case of, well, let's just get Meg to deal with it.
Well, the thing is, the
We'll all
problem
just
was,
stand at the back.
Yeah.
I was
The tank and the melee DPS
Well,
will
I-
just like stand back, let the range DPS just sort everything out for us.
Sorry, I was a healer and a killing machine. So I basically went die.
I
Potion,
dread to think what
potion,
that game would have
die,
ended
die,
up
die,
like
die,
if
die.
you didn't have that ability to use potions at the end of a go.
Yeah.
That would.
We would have been pools.
I
of-
would have been fine. I only lost
big
like 2
pools of
hearts in the
dead.
game.
My
that
health bar was flashing like so many times
I
during
know.
that game.
That was the main kind of shout, though, was, got a potion, give it to Megan. Give it to
For
Megan.
God's
was
sakes,
quite-
give it to the
It,
healer.
it was annoying when we really needed it. Come on, be a potion. Not a potion. Later on in the game, 5 potions.
Yeah, so that's the dice mechanic, isn't it?
Potions. Yeah.
So the dice work on a colour scale, blue, red, then green. As the colours improve, your chances of rolling stars for hits and successful combats increases. But also you can roll hearts,
And
which-
potions.
yeah,
Potions.
which will refill a heart on your character or one of your choice, or a potion.
Which
you
is
then-
it's that computer game thing of you bash something and,
Yeah.
and stuff falls
stuff
out
falls
of
out of
it.
it.
Yeah. Or there was the green one, wasn't it? That did potion and heart.
The
Yeah.
green one you could get back.
Yeah,
You
it
can
was the
combine
green
them.
one.
But that did mean that you could roll quite low, because there were there's nothing 1 star, 2 star, and 3 star, wasn't there?
I think on the blue dice there were blank sides.
Yeah.
So
So sometimes if you were rolling just blue, you could just roll nothing.
Yeah.
It was very funny though when I had all my dice and I just threw it, and then the game master was just like, "Well, here's me and my 1 dice. Right, I think you win."
Yeah.
I found it very, very difficult to fight and play the game when I had squirrels in my trousers.
Oh, yeah.
Very
That
And
was
when
quite...
you just went, it's nothing, and then as soon as you get in there, you're just like, this is horrible.
Yeah. Yeah, we both got attacked by squirrels with our trousers.
When you have 2 squirrels in your trousers, it's very
It makes
difficult
fighting
to
difficult.
fight.
Yeah. Makes a lot of things quite tricky.
Well, it would have been very difficult for me because it would have taken off my dice. And
Yeah.
In fact, having squirrels in my trousers was what killed me the
It
first
was
time.
what killed you the
It
first
was.
time, yeah.
yeah, and we were all going, we have to quickly kill everything so you can get your stuff back.
Yeah.
And
Because when you die, your items and equipment stay where you died,
Yeah,
and you
so
go pick them up. You get a
Kind of
respawn point.
kind of like little chesting games where you get
Yeah.
where you die, there's a chest and
Yeah.
you get it. But it was just a little token, and I like the tokens. The potions you got little tokens that had different things on it, like a little fire and a little poison,
Yeah.
and you put that on your card. and-
Status effects.
Yeah, and I liked the card system where you had your hearts and you had your potions. And
Yeah, the build quality is really good, and the models were awesome.
the little
Yeah.
models of
Little potion
the
bottles.
potions
Yeah.
and little hearts. And I loved the anime kind of side to the.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
The artwork.
The
The
artwork
artwork.
was incredible.
It's
Um,
gorgeous.
I love that it doesn't take itself seriously. Because I've played Descent, and Descent's a good game, but like, it's not necessarily fun. Whereas Super Dungeon Explorer it's a fun game.
Oh, it's
fun,
fun. Yeah, yeah.
And the enemies are very quirky, like the platypuses.
And the squirrels, as we've mentioned.
Goddamn
Yeah,
Audrey.
the
Yeah.
Audreys.
So saying, please, little Audrey, don't, please. And if you didn't kill it, it would just change by itself.
Yeah.
And
You can't stop the Audrey.
Yeah.
You just have to kill it and
Audrey
then kill
was
it again.
really annoying, and we just went, do we face a mini boss or do we face Audrey again?
Choices. The choices we have to make.
Indeed.
But you
So
really
what-
enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was amazing.
That's cool.
Was that the base game, or was that was the Forgotten King? Was that an expansion? or
We
was that,
we played with the base game, I think.
that was. The
But we
base
did
game.
play with extra characters because
Yeah.
It wasn't the base characters.
no,
Hmm.
I had a base character.
You did have
Yeah.
a base character.
We had access to more characters, I think. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, the new Kickstarter is up, and it's
We'll
already
stick
re-
links to it in the show notes.
already
It's an
hit its
awesome
target.
game.
Yeah.
You say you heard it here first, Megan. It's what she wants for
Love
Christmas.
it.
So
Love it.
amazing.
I
better than Lego Dimensions, apparently. So
I-
that means that I'm getting Lego Dimensions at Christmas.
That means we get 2 things. So
Yeah,
I-
she's just hedging her bets. She knows exactly she knows exactly how to play this game. I'll take that grin, Meg,
this
as
is
like
a grin.
a sign that you know exactly what you're doing.
Of course I do.
Fair
it's all
play.
planned out.
Parent manipulation leveled up.
Achievement unlocked.
Yeah. Christmas achievement? 2 games.
Pretty much. I can see that coming.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You
All
know,
right.
you know with the guy had the metal coin that you normally have little tokens for. That was
Yeah.
like the characters.
That was his
That's
that was a
the
Kickstarter reward.
Kickstarter, yeah.
Cool.
Cool. So, Meg, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Have you seen a Star Wars film at the cinema?
Don't think so.
No,
Is Episode 7 going to be your first cinema experience of a Star Wars movie?
I
Yes.
think so.
Awesome. So this
Well-
is your generation's trilogy then.
Because I.
Yeah, because she was too. I think she was too young to go and see Revenge of the Sith.
Have
I
you seen
was-
the trailer?
No, not yet. Actually, I need to.
You need to see that trailer.
Yes.
Yeah, I will.
I've seen the trailer.
I've seen
several
the trailer.
times.
I've
yeah.
nearly watched it a few times.
I
and
played
then
it for my
I
class.
don't have time.
Like, everyone came into lecture last week and they were all sitting down a bit noisy and stuff, and then I just put YouTube on and put the trailer on, and there was a hush descending over the lecture theatre, followed by like a round of applause, followed by students starting to make plans to go on a class trip to watch it.
Well,
Trying to get SE to pay for it. I was just like, if you want SE to pay for it, it'll be a hard ask, but just make sure you mention all the times that Lucasfilm and THX have influenced both the film and the audio industry, and you might have a chance. I mean,
Write the business case.
yeah,
That's the
they've
way
got no chance SE paying for it, but they should definitely try.
it's a good way to become the best teacher. Just play trailers.
So you spotted my cutting plan.
Yes.
We seem to have spotted each other's plans.
I do.
Okay, so
for
things
domination.
coming out of the trailer then.
I want to know why Rey was so angry, why she fired that blaster in anger.
Hmm.
There's still no sign of Luke Skywalker in the trailers.
Well, that's it. Everybody's still saying that that's Luke with his hand on Artin.
Yeah,
So
I guess
he's in it, but that's all we've seen.
That's all we've
we haven't
seen.
seen his face or anything. So the internet rumor mill has gone mental, suggesting that he's gone dark.
Which wouldn't be too far off the mark. He was the Grey Jedi in the EU,
Mm.
so he walks the line between light and dark, so without giving in to the dark. There's other theories that he's Kylo Ren, which is utter bullshit, because Kylo Ren is clearly Rey's twin
Yes.
and one of Han and Leia's kids.
Mm.
I mean that's not a spoiler, I don't think.
No, I think that's pretty much a given.
Yeah, I think anyone who knows anything about the expanded universe knows that they're probably going to use some of the stuff that's been stripped from canon to like inform these characters and stories. So yeah, I think Rey and Kylo are definitely brother and sister. Yeah.
See, I didn't, of course, see the first trilogy because I was too young. And then for the second one, I got all really excited. And I was in Chicago and I saw it a month before everyone here. And it was the biggest disappointment. So
Preaching to the choir.
Yeah.
I'm not really building
Just
myself up for it all that much. Apart from I was quite excited that it was quite a bit was filmed in Newbury, all the outside scenes.
And there's a load of it that's blatantly in the Lake District.
Yeah.
Just hands up everyone at home right now listening to the podcast. Were you disappointed with episode 1? Yeah.
I felt a disturbance in the force, as if 1,000 voices cried out in unison.
You're definitely not alone in that, Emma. I think the last
Millions
generation.
of childhoods crushed in one fell swoop.
Yeah, the Star Wars trilogy for the last generation. Yeah, they got dicked. They got dicked hard with that.
I refer you to Spaced Season 2,
Yeah.
Episode 1.
It still hurts, Bilbo.
But yeah, there's that little there's that little spinny toy. That seems to be
Oh,
around.
BB-8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone's quite enthusiastic about that one already.
Well, I'm enthusiastic about it because at Star Wars Celebration last year, they brought it out on stage. It's an actual model. So I'm super enthusiastic about the fact that he's using props. I mean, we've said that a few times before, like
Practical effects.
practical sets, practical effects.
They're
Hell
so
yeah.
much
Real
better.
props.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it just looks great.
When you go back and look at old films where they actually were proper,
Yeah.
they're so much better than using CGI.
That's why Jurassic Park has dated less than I'm sure Jurassic World will. Jurassic World will date because of the special effects used. Jurassic Park is still timeless.
Yeah, because it's practical effects.
So what did you make of the trailer?
Yeah, utterly blown away by it. I wasn't. I was expecting a 30-second teaser, not like a 3-minute thing. I was like, wow. So there's a lot in there. So it does look like John Boyega is a stormtrooper who lands somewhere and obviously defects.
Yeah.
So there's kind of shades of the Kyle Katarn story there, potentially.
Yeah, on the poster, he looks like he's definitely got the hang of using the lightsaber. I mean,
Yeah.
the stance he's got is definitely one that's informed by training.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that's it's a similar story to Kyle Katarn's, which would be interesting. And does seem to because it must mean that they're making a break from the prequel trilogies where it's established that the Stormtroopers are all clones of Jango Fett.
Well, yeah, it would have to, wouldn't it?
So yeah,
I would have to assume.
and thus maybe that was the army for the Clone Wars, and then Stormtroopers just became people after that. that go inside them and are different shapes, sizes, and personalities, and not all clones of Jango Fett.
Yeah, and some of them are a little short.
Apparently so. So yeah, I was blown away by it. I can't wait. You know, some of the shots of the the X-wings speeding across the lakes and stuff just looks phenomenal.
And the battles around what we can only assume is the Starkiller base.
Yeah.
Like the big ice planet, which is the home to the First Order, and as they're flying around, you see the trenches.
Yeah, which
big trenches.
It's like are they really trying another Death Star?
Well, it's kind of there's no thermal exhaust port. It's a fucking planet. So I'm not sure what the crack is there, but we'll see what goes on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting.
And there's a lot more questions raised by it that are asked. What's Leia so upset about, etc., etc.
Well, I think someone put forward through that actually she's upset about finding out that her children are basically responsible for the fate of the universe. Rey versus Kylo. And there's precedent in the expanded universe for those guys not being with Han and Leia. Because they were sent off, because they were, Jason and Jada were targeted quite a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It should be interesting to see how it plays out.
I think so. And, we're counting down the weeks now.
Yeah.
We're, 8 weeks away now?
Yeah. Yeah, I think December 16th
Yeah.
is technically the first day. I mean, it's December 17th, but it's like 1 minute past midnight. But The View in Oxford has got 9 screenings of it. We're podcasting on the 16th.
Are we?
Yeah. So we're going to podcast and then go to the midnight screening.
That might have to be a plan.
Because I'm definitely seeing the midnight screening.
Yeah. Yes.
Because there's no
think
way
so.
I'm waiting. There's no way
We
I'm
all up for
waiting.
that?
Does this mean late night?
Well,
It means a late
it means early morning.
Yeah, early
So
morning.
just phoning sick to school the next day, like
Miss, I was just
I'm so
watching Star
tired. I was watching
Wars.
Star Wars.
This is it. This is your trial by fire. Can you stay up late enough to watch a Star Wars film
Oh.
live at the cinema?
Well, don't
Yeah.
worry. If there's coffee involved, I'll be fine. In the morning at school, it's 1, 2, 3.
But this is a big deal, Meg. This is a big deal. This is your first cinema experience of a Star Wars film, so you got to enjoy it.
I will.
Awesome.
Cool. So I think it's safe to say we're all excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cast our minds back 2.5 years ago when we first heard about this.
Yeah. And what was it? We were in this room. We were in this very room where it all began, raging that J.J. Abrams had been picked. I was not happy with that.
Yeah, I think I recall I was okay with it.
Yeah, I think I had an issue with it, mainly because of the risk that he would homogenise two
Yes, the
separate
two
sci-fi
universes,
franchises.
yeah.
But I'm actually, based on hearing him talk about it at conventions and seeing what he's done with it behind the scenes, I'm actually okay with it. And the fact that he's not sticking on for the other two are going to be directed by other people.
Yes.
So we'll
so
see.
he's not running the entire show.
He's just
doing this one.
launching this new trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Bring it on.
Plus, it meant that we get to keep Neil Blomkamp for Alien 5. So I'm okay.
Yes, I saw the new pictures of the pulse rifle the other week. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. And the entire LARP community went hell on.
Yeah. Quite excited. Cool. So, last piece of news for today's episode.
Well, yeah, the last discussion point.
Yeah.
Walking Dead. Did they?
Facebook seemed to go a bit crazy.
Yeah.
I called it.
Did they kill Glenn? My take is absolutely. You see him getting torn to pieces.
And then everyone else is saying, no, you don't. You just see Nicholas's body on top of him getting torn to pieces.
But why would he be screaming? In pain and blood
it wouldn't make
flying out.
sense.
I think he's dead. I think the only way he's coming back is in flashbacks and side stories.
I think he's dead too. And I'm only bothered because they didn't kill him the way they should have killed him.
Well, I think he lasted longer than he did in the comics.
No.
Did he not? I thought that in the
No,
comics it was the governor that...
We get to the wolves. It's
Was it the wolves?
It's
I thought it was the governor.
It's Negan that kills him.
Right, okay.
His first act on meeting Rick's group is just
With the baseball bat.
It's to smash Glenn's head in with Lucille.
Issue 100.
So, yeah. But I'm not sure. I mean, it definitely looks like he's dead. You see entrails getting ripped out all over the place, and yes, he's screaming.
Even if he is underneath a body, There is no way he can get out of that.
Yeah, no, they're going to just eat through Nicholas and get straight to him.
Yeah.
And if he wasn't being eaten, why would he scream?
Yeah.
Because he knows not to keep
If I
keep
was
shut
under
up.
a body, I'd scream.
Yeah, but Glenn's a survivor. He knows
Yeah.
he knows to just shut up, and he knows that like Walker guts have been used to disguise them in the past. So if he just lets them eat Nicholas and just tries to be as still as possible, as quiet as possible, there's every chance he could survive. But he's screaming. I'm not sure what he's screaming in. Probably pain. Probably being eaten.
I think being torn to pieces would make you scream.
So it was a fairly quick discussion point, but
Well,
is Glenn dead? Yes.
In
probably.
my opinion, yes, I think he's dead. And I don't see any way of coming back from it that isn't a cheat.
You have been wrong.
I've been wrong, but I've called pretty much everything so far this season in Walking Dead.
Yeah. Although, pretty much. I thought they were going a different way with episode 2. I thought Carol was going to get proper evil, lock the wolves in Alexandria, and then call the herd back. That's how I saw it going.
Okay.
But they played it differently. But how good was it to have badass Carol back?
Oh, yes. Yeah, and she was. That was Rambo Carol back again.
So good. So good. We should also probably say that we were completely wrong about Supernatural.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Sorry, Supernatural.
That's what I was referencing.
Sorry.
So, on our season roundup episode...
We didn't mean it. We still love you.
we're just not expecting them to actually go and finish that so quickly. They basically resolved the whole who's ill this time storyline by episode 2.
So fair play to you.
Yeah.
You didn't stretch it out for an entire season. Well done.
Yeah.
They should just give up, though. They're making everything worse.
Well, yeah, they are.
I think they've started to acknowledge that in the show now, though, as well.
Yes.
So that's kind of good. It's getting very meta to some points.
It always has been very meta Supernatural, but yeah, I think it's...
But Crowley is awesome this season. You like to watch this show?
She's never watched Supernatural.
It's not... She was very young when it started.
Yeah.
And
she would have been 3 when it started.
So it's not something she's ever caught up on. I mean, she has been binge watching things recently to catch up on stuff.
She binge watched the hell out of Archer.
Oh yes, that show is.
I cried at the end of season 5.
That show is so inappropriate for you, Meg. Why are you watching Archer?
Because it's funny.
Because my brother introduced me to it, so I introduced these lot to it. I've only seen the first 3 episodes. She's watched 6 seasons.
So, what do you think of Archer Vice?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Really.
Different take on the entire thing.
Yeah.
They're no longer working for the spy company.
Oh, okay.
They're just dealing drugs.
Straight
up.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, Meg, but fair play.
This is after she's done in Family Guy,
South Park.
and South Park.
She's done in 17 seasons of South Park.
Archer's funnier than both of them.
Yeah,
So she's done all that in the last couple of months.
Haven't you got studies to be getting on with?
No.
No?
That pesky school thing again. Getting in the way of binge watching.
You're just going to be a pop culture commentator like your father. Fair play.
Well, that's it, because we were talking at the weekend about, she was like, how do I get a press pass? It's like, well, you have to start doing stuff. So
I could review Archer.
She might start doing stuff.
I enjoy Archer.
Well, what else have you started doing? Yesterday, what did you start doing?
Oh yeah, playing The Last of Us. And I watched
Tucker and Dale
Tucker and
versus
Dale
Evil.
versus Evil.
That's a great film.
She was trying to catch up on the people she'd seen
On the
at
people
the
I saw,
weekend.
yeah. So now
Ah,
I've got to
cool,
watch
cool,
one
cool.
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Alan Tudyk and Tucker and
Yeah.
So
Dale versus
now
Evil.
she has first-hand experience of running away from zombies.
Yeah. It was something. I was just sat there. I could hear my heart rate. I was like, oh, Dad.
Do you know
I'm
which of the
scared.
characters in The Last of Us are Nolan North?
That's Joel.
Joe. I was very happy when I found Ellie. Yay!
Wicked.
So there were things that she couldn't watch originally, like Dexter.
I still haven't seen it.
You still haven't seen Dexter. Who was it talking about Dexter this weekend? It was Edward James Olmos was talking about Dexter. And was like, going, you talk about sci-fi being dark. Look at Dexter.
Yeah.
He's saying that was very dark. Apparently, he goes around in character all the time, and he got a bit freaked out, and saying, "Oh, that was a very, very dark series for me to do, but I didn't do it." Spoilers.
He was having fun with spoilers about stuff. It's like, spoilers. I was dead all along. It wasn't me.
I was in the freezer.
I died 4 months before it appeared. Funny man, he really is.
So say we all.
So say we all. That's how he walked off stage shouting that. And everybody in the crowd was shouting back.
Good. Did they stand at the same time?
Oh yeah.
Good. Should fucking hope so.
Yeah, it was awesome. Cool.
I think that's everything for this week.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think so. Yeah. But so by all means. Well, we'll. I think we'll catch up on Doctor Who as we get closer to the end of this season, because apparently Maisie Williams is due back again in episode 10.
Awesome.
It's really.
Yes.
She did.
Yeah, but as a quick aside, I will say that this is probably the best season Doctor Who in a long time.
A lot of people were very upset at the weekend.
A lot of people have been very upset, but I disagree with them vehemently. I think this is stunning.
I love Doctor Who, but I've never been shy in coming forward to criticise it when I think it's not met the mark in terms of good narrative, good characters. This season is entirely different. This season, the fact they're playing with two-part stories is giving them much more time to flesh out characters and plot and narrative, and it's awesome. Every single episode is awesome.
It really does. You need time to do that.
You need an hour and a half to tell a story at least.
In any TV show, Doctor Who or anything, you need time to be able to expand, because an hour, 45 minutes is not long enough.
No.
But, people think that it's going to be like, oh, it's going to be way too long for an episode, and I don't know if I could tune in for that long. And I like the fact that it is over 2 weeks, and you're like, I really want to see it now.
Yeah.
See, Classic Who would be over over 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 episodes.
Yeah, most of them were 4 or 6 episodes.
Yeah.
The Classic Who.
You really
4 20-minute episodes. So
it's nice to have that gap in between when you're thinking about the story
Yeah.
and how
gives you
it's
time
going
to wonder how it's going to go.
That's literally the whole point of a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
They always used to finish with a cliffhanger because it would have you talking about the show and wondering what's going to happen until the next week's came out.
It wouldn't just wrap everything up neatly for the end of an episode.
I mean, it's possibly a lot harder to have cliffhanger episodes with new media, because it will get spoiled. There'll be someone on set or something will leak, so maybe they've moved away because they couldn't keep the secrecy aspect of it, which is how cliffhanger episodes worked. But the fact that they're returning to it in this series with the two-parters is great. And was the Doctor a ghost at the end of episode 3? That was like the cliffhanger that kept you coming back for episode 4. So much love for this season, and I'm just so gutted that Jenna Coleman's leaving, because it looks like her and Capaldi have finally clicked.
See, I'm still not gutted that she's leaving. I want somebody else in. I want a normal companion.
Well, I like Clara. My only problem is that if they get a new companion in, they're going to have like the first half of the next season, like
introducing.
Yeah, and like settling down the companion with the Doctor's like, as an audience, we've seen this so many times. We don't need it. They just need to get that over and done with nice and quickly. Do it at Christmas.
I see.
They probably will.
Yeah, do it at
I
Christmas.
say Maisie Williams with the Doctor.
It would be nice, but it's been
happen.
officially confirmed that she is not.
Yeah.
She doesn't have time.
No,
she's quite busy with another little show.
Busy.
She's doing this fantasy drama series, I think.
New spin-off as well.
Of what?
Doctor Who.
Yeah.
When's that out?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't even think it started filming yet. The high school one, so it's set in Coal Hill School.
Well, does that mean we're going to be seeing more of Clara because it's going to be in the school?
Well, no, Clara will not be the teacher there, I imagine.
I imagine she's going to be quite dead.
Probably, or incapacitated in some way, shape, or form.
Are you sure? Because sometimes they do go.
Yeah,
I'm just going to dump you home.
I think there's been too much
exits already.
Yeah.
And she's ended up coming back.
There's been so much foreshadowing this series. I think she's probably going to die. I think it'd be the second. Well, yeah, the second one.
Yeah. It will only be one of the. Is it the second companion ever to die? Because there was Adric and.
I was thinking of Adric. I can't think of any of this.
Yeah, I think Adric is the only one who's actually died.
Oh.
Well, there are a couple of random ones. There was Sarah Kingdom. she aged to death in one of the really early episodes. I think it was Doctor. I think it was First Doctor. I think it was that one.
If you think about it, Amy did die, but she died,
In the past.
in the past.
Yeah.
And
That's a good point, Meg.
and then Rose got sent away to another dimension.
But yeah, she didn't die.
She didn't die.
She didn't die.
Yeah.
Donna Noble didn't die.
Well, yeah.
Martha Jones.
That's the
didn't
thing.
die.
She's coming back.
Who is?
Donna Noble.
yeah.
Donna.
In
Yes,
Big
and David Tennant are doing Big Finish
Yes,
stories.
which is
yes.
awesome because
Stories.
I've always loved Donna Noble as a companion. I thought she was one of the greats.
And David Tennant is one
Yeah.
of the good ones.
Who's your doctor?
My doctor is Christopher Eccleston, I think.
Chris Eccleston.
Chris Eccleston,
Yeah.
But which one did you actually click with first?
It was,
I
it was
really-
Matt Smith because she didn't like David Tennant at the time he was on
But
TV.
I really love him now, and
Yeah.
I love him as an actor.
Yeah.
He's really
But
amazing.
the first Doctor you clicked with properly was Matt Smith.
Yeah.
'Cause she was petrified.
Yes. But I do really like Peter Capaldi, and I think he's a really, really
I
good
think he's
doctor.
brilliant.
I think he's a great
And the
doctor.
way that he balances seriousness with him being crazy,
Yes.
Yeah.
and it's just really funny.
We're particularly liking the hoodie and jacket.
It's the whole Dogma outfit. The angels from Dogma, the suit jackets with the hoodies over the top. One of my personal favourite
You've
looks.
got Matt Smith, who's dressed very old, with a very young face. And then
Yeah.
you've got the opposite, where you've got Capaldi, who is old. Who's
Dressing young.
very
Yeah.
Dressing very young and back with his trout and trousers.
I'm quite enjoying kind of the way that they were saying about how his face, the way that he's come back from being.
They explained the face.
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
that was great. I like that.
Of course, the small issue with that is it refers back to the fires of Pompeii,
Yes.
of which Amy's in that episode as well.
Mm-hmm.
So would that also be part of the... That doesn't link.
Yes, yeah, because the actress who plays Amy Pond is one of the daughters that gets sacrificed.
Cameron.
So we're all remembering back and existing like that.
Yes.
I think it was a nice touch.
It was
is
nice. It was a
Yeah.
nice
It was
explanation.
a nice question being.
Yeah, it was good to see them use the actual chunks of the episode and get David Tennant in there as his
That
doctor from
has
the
been
time.
a lovely thing this season is the old footage
Mm.
and the using the memories and
Well,
dialogue.
They've been
I
using a lot of
think
the
I
whole
think
Davros
we're going to
ones.
see that a lot more. Apparently, I think episode 11, which is the one in hell,
Mm.
is the first episode where it's just the Doctor. There is
Oh.
nobody else, no supporting characters, no
Wow.
companion.
That's going to be
It's
interesting.
just the Doctor, and there are rumours that there are other Doctors making an appearance in this episode.
Ooh.
Mm. Interesting.
I liked it when Missy referred back to
Yes.
the old one who's saying about how. Like,
Oh, but
all the
Missy's just
doctors-
awesome.
She
Missy's
is.
just epic.
She is awesome.
Yeah,
We want more of Missy.
she'll be back.
Anyways,
We should wrap up.
that was longer than we wanted. Well, it wasn't longer than we wanted. It was longer than I thought we were going to talk about Doctor Who.
Sorry,
for.
I-
Never,
Just told to mention
never
it.
apologise,
Indeed.
Meg. Never apologise for talking about Doctor Who.
So I guess just before we sign off, then make sure you check out the YouTube channels and the website for all the stuff that's coming out over the next couple of weeks from MCM.
Yeah. Well, you said it.
Well, what I said, yeah, that. So yeah, go and check it out and see some of the fun stuff that we got up to and
And
that we
the
talked
super-
about in this.
The Super Dungeon Explore
Mm.
version 2 Kickstarter.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, and we'll have the photos for that. I'll attach to the show notes.
And book your tickets for Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yes, and we'll
Star
see you there
Wars.
midnight.
With your lightsabers. I'm bringing mine.
And then we can have another midnight battle.
No, I'm not fighting you again, Meg.
He doesn't want his ass kicked once again.
Cool. Right, well, that's definitely it now for this time. Thank you all for listening. I've been Brendan,
I've been Spindles.
I've been Emma.
And I've been Megan.
and until next time, take care and be excellent to each other.